north that was going on in the last couple of days, where they said, we need to have the red carpet when you come in. We also need a red carpet when you're actually operating the business, because that becomes even more critical. And we need to let you get off the red carpet. And the interesting point that somebody else added to that is that actually we need to change the color of the carpet, because red means we want to stop you. And that's where the cultural part comes in. It's a hint towards the entire culture that we should probably have a green carpet coming in, and green both from the cultural perspective and the fact that we should have eco-friendliness in the way we deal and the kind of business we bring in. Having said that, I'll hand over to Mr. Shailendra Singh.
There should be deregulation, and there will be self-certification and third-party certification. So this concept of better regulation dawned on me when I visited. Actually, there was a workshop conducted by the BRDO, and we are invited to a 3-day workshop, wherein I also learned about inspection reforms and whatever good thing is happening in the country on inspection reforms is actually, I will give the credit to the BRDO experience which I had. What really frightened me is the long gestation period for reforms which was driven by the BRDO. I found that there was a lot of procedures, consultation, etc. involved, and if we adopted that route, then we would have taken many years to really start the reforms in our country. So we thought that while we'll go by the philosophy of BRDO, by what good things they have done, but on the approach side, we'll modify it, and we'll take a different approach. What helped me is the World Bank study, where I was associated with the World Bank study in May last year, and then a team had come in June for this, and there was a kickoff meeting in the DA, wherein I was called. And then I thought that till DIPP took ownership, we won't be able to take up the reforms in the way we intend to, and our Honorable Prime Minister intends to. So we decided that now DIPP will drive the reforms, and we got the mandate, and you won't believe in less than a month, we not only prepared action point for all the central ministries, but for the state governments also. We studied the World Bank, we took help from experts, and we prepared specific action point for all the ministries and the state governments. And we decided that, and we also mentioned that these actions have to be taken within what time frame. We decided that if a ministry doesn't act within that time frame, we escalate the matter to the PMO. Some matters were then sent to the Cabinet Secretariat, and some were taken by the PMO. And the concerned secretary was asked to explain, and we used to counter the secretary, challenge that department in our way. We had to acquire a lot of knowledge in the sector to really challenge the concerned department, because they had the domain knowledge on that subject. And then in 99% cases, the decision was in our favor, and the department had to take up the reforms which we had initially proposed. This process actually drove the reforms in a very fast pace, and when we are assessing the departments, we do it every month. Every month we were really surprised by the reforms which are undertaken. Though I don't think much of it will be reflected in this year's World Bank study, because the methodology is such that the later part of the year, if you do some reform, it won't get reflected in the study, because they go by usage, and the majority of the users should start using that reform. The next point was the state study. We requested the World Bank to do a sub-national study for us. They obliged, and they studied in detail Maharashtra and Delhi, and gave the recommendations. We had a workshop. We called all the concerned stakeholders. We took the recommendations. We simplified them. We disseminated them to both the states, and we prepared an action plan. Then we decided we should not improve only for the World Bank. We should improve for our country. And why not take it up with all the states and improve the business process, the regulatory environment of the country as a whole? We took it up with all the states, and initially we didn't see much movement. Then we had some dialogues with them, but still things didn't moving. We asked our minister to write all the chief ministers. Our secretary wrote the chief secretaries. We conducted workshops. Then it started gathering more momentum, and then we thought that we'll now let us see, we'll do an assessment of the regulation, the practices which have been adopted to remove or simplify the regulations. And we told the state that we'll do this study in June and we'll assess you in the month of July. This actually spurred the states, and there was every state had, in the month of June when we did the study, we found that every state was trying to outdo the other and take up the reforms in the right earnest. And notification were issued in days, which used to take months and years earlier. They were just issued in days. The file was sent to the chief minister, approval taken, and the next day it went to the government press to be issued. This journey has been very exciting, very thrilling, and really, I don't believe what we have achieved in the last 6 months in the country, together with all the ministries and the state governments, on all the parameters, be it environment, taxation, land, inspection, in every field we have excelled. No one state has excelled in all the parameters, or maybe not more than 2 out of 8 parameters in which we are studying. Most of in one parameter, some states have excelled. I was in Jharkhand a few days back, and the lady is the Secretary Industries, and the husband is the Secretary Labor. And what reforms they both have done in Jharkhand is unbelievable. They have exceeded our expectations. They have done more than what we had asked them to do. So this is how individuals make a difference, and we have made it a point that we have identified the resource person, the individual who will lead the reforms, and we have been able to do that, and we have made India a very much easier place to do business than it was a year earlier. And we hope these reforms will continue. We have decided that this state level study and assessment will be done by the World Bank from next year, for the next 3 years, and they have agreed to do it. And we hope that with their experience and expertise, we'll be able to take it even move forward. On inspection, on every parameter, we have prepared a model, which is even better than maybe many countries, or even the World Bank has told us. To give you an example on getting electricity, what we have suggested to states, and many states have implemented that, which no other country has done it. We have told them one application form, a simple application form, be a 1-pager or 1.5-pager, one document, that is a document, a proof of ownership, and in case of a company, another document, that is an authorization document. So 1 or 2 documents, and a fixed cost payment, not an estimate to be carried out and the consumer is informed that you have to pay this much and then he pays. No, we set a fixed cost payment. If I want a 100 kVA connection, I pay 1500 into 100, that is 1.5 lakhs, and I get a charged connection within 15 days. And you won't believe, nowhere in the world this has been done, and many states in my country have done it. So this is we have prepared models for each parameter. Like on inspection reforms, what we have told the states: 1, create a centralized agency which will take care of all inspections across all departments. That was number 1. 2, do a risk assessment, that a computerized risk assessment, and inspect establishment on the basis of risk. All need not be inspected. 3rd, allot inspectors to the establishments on the basis of this risk assessment, a computerized risk assessment. The establishment need to be informed when it has to be inspected, who will inspect them. A template has to be sent to the establishment beforehand, which it fills in. The inspector comes, inspects, and uploads it within 72 hours and sends it to the concerned authority, who takes corrective action. In low-risk businesses, go for self-certification. In medium-risk businesses, go for self-certification or third-party certification. And in high-risk businesses, go for third party and reinspection by the inspectors. This is a model which we learnt was the best practice. This model, of course, has been adopted by at least 50 countries, which we have circulated to the states. So on each parameter, we have prepared models and circulated to the states as well as the ministries. And I'm sure that many states who have done it and many more will follow. On the points which you mentioned, all this actually is working towards removing corruption. And an online system, on a single window, we have prepared a model. What is a model single window? How an interface has to be developed, how the processing has to be done on the back end, how the approvals have to be downloaded, digitally signed approvals. All models perfected and circulated to all the states. We have done it to that extent, and many states, as I mentioned, have started following. On the legal processes and on contract enforcement, it is the area where we have been the slowest. But I am hopeful that with the participation of judiciary, we have prepared specific action points, starting from filling up vacancies of courts to formation of commercialized courts and benches, e-courts starting from e-filing till downloading of digitally signed judgments of courts. All that we have told the courts. Our law minister has written to all the high courts, and we are following it up with them. The amendments which are required in the CPC and in the other relevant acts have been taken up by the Ministry of Justice, and we are following it up. I know it has been slowest, but in the years to come, we'll see reforms in that field also.